Everybody talking, but they coming to the shows. Pull up in a rose, now she wanna roll. Everybody talking, but they coming to the shows. Pulling up, and you know I'm swerving.
Don't we live in this beautiful and amazing planet called Earth? It gives us totally jaw-dropping sight with its resources. Plants, animals, mountains, rivers, lakes and oceans. And indeed, we humans are a part of it. It is totally accepted that this planet has a beautiful environment. But the more and more beautiful it looks, the more dangerous it is in reality. Nothing can stand in front of the power of nature when it is aggressive or messed up by humans. In this video, we'll look into 10 most horrible environmental disasters that caused massive levels of destruction, and they are mostly man-made. We all must have come across these words: rice bowl of India and rice bowl of South India. But have you heard about dust bowl? Dust bowl. Around the 1930s, huge mass of people transferred their residence to the southern plains of Texas. They usually started with agricultural practices in the wet seasons. But when a severe drought was hit, the soil began to dry up and it started to form as dust clouds. And later it became black blizzards and started to aggressively blow at people and houses. More than 100 people lost their lives and thousands were diagnosed with lung failure. London is mostly known as the famous tourist spot. With its beauty, it totally gives us jaw-dropping sights. But this situation totally shook London, and it is a man-made disaster. During the Industrial Revolution, London was one of the nations which capitalized market conditions. At this time, there was a lot of energy utilization by industries and people, especially coal burning. We all know that coal burning would pollute the air. As a result of excessive coal burning in London, the entire city of London was covered with poisonous clouds containing sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide. Eventually, it became a phenomenon that claimed the lives of 12,000 people. There are a ton of diseases which affected humans in this world: Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, malaria, hepatitis B, and many more. But this disease is caused by an environmental disaster, the Minamata disease. In the early 1950s, the residents of Minamata started to observe abnormal conditions and behaviors within animals. Birds suddenly crashing into the sky, and fishes always splashing in the water. And even with humans, they found difficulty to even walk and they blabbered instead of talking. However, the cause was identified in 1956. Seveso Corporation was releasing wastewater containing mercury into the Minamata Bay. It affected the fish first, and then the birds which ate the fish, and the humans who ate the fish. All those who were exposed to this mercury, their nervous system was severely poisoned. Until 1968, it claimed more than 2,000 lives. Clouds. We all see them every day. But this cloud is very exceptional and it is deadly. Seveso Dioxin cloud. Accidentally, a huge dioxin cloud was released from a chemical plant in Italy. It damaged the well-being of more than 2,000 people, and above 80,000 animals were slaughtered to keep the poison away from people. However, the chemical plant was made liable to pay $13 million as compensation to the state. The most unforgettable environmental disaster which has ever happened in India. The Bhopal gas tragedy. On December 3, 1984, a toxin cloud containing methyl isocyanate gas escaped from the Union Carbide plant of India, and within 10 seconds it spread throughout the city of Bhopal. When the people were exposed to this gas, they immediately started to vomit and search for fresh air. Nearly 5 lakh people were exposed to this gas, and the results were memory loss and leukemia. Eventually, 15,000 people lost their lives due to this tragedy. After that, the government took various measures to clean up the atmosphere and to ensure the safe environment for people. The nuclear power plant explosion, Chernobyl. On April 26, 1986, A turbine test in a nuclear power plant was a horrible failure that it resulted in series of explosions and release of radioactive substance in the air. The explosion was so deadly that it immediately killed 50 employees. The radiation levels were so high that it was 400 times than the Hiroshima atom bomb. Nearly 4,000 cancer deaths were recorded worldwide as the infection and the radiation levels spread till London. At present, in Chernobyl, the radiation levels are still high, and it is also said that it could still kill people if they didn't follow the safety measures before entering. The countries which export oil receive the most foreign exchange. By that way, the Kuwaiti oil fires is considered to be a major loss for them. The Kuwaiti oil fires was caused by Iraqi military forces due to the imminent defeat of Saddam Hussein. The military forces set fire to nearly 700 oil wells in Kuwait. The smoke fumes reached greater heights in air and it's completely blackened the atmosphere and the sun. Automatically breathing became difficult for plants, animals and everything. By the end of November 1991, 1.5 billion barrels of oil was extinguished. More than 100 common people lost their lives, including 92 Senegal soldiers who died in a plane crash due to the blackened sky. We all must have come across the substance called cyanide in movies. Especially the bad guys, when they are caught by the police, they consume cyanide and invite their own death. By that way, the Baia Mare cyanide spill was considered to be a worst environmental disaster in the history of Europe. 1 lakh cubic meters of water containing cyanide leaked from a dam and it was spread with the surrounding rivers. There was huge loss of aquatic life and the people who consumed this water were severely infected with their nervous system. The Jilin chemical plant explosions, China. On November 13, 2005, there was a series of explosions at the Jilin chemical plant in China. Numerous employees were injured and later they were evacuated with thousands of neighboring residents to parts of China. This explosion also contaminated the Songhua River, which contained nitrobenzene particles. Human exposure to this water caused the decrease of white blood cells and in some cases it also caused cancer. British petroleum oil spill, Mexico. On April 20, 2010, there was an explosion and a sinkage of an oil rig in the Gulf of Mexico. This was the most prominent accidental oil spill in the history of petroleum. 11 employees died in this explosion and 60 million oil barrels was released into the ocean. More than 34,000 birds, 100 sea turtles and 72 dolphins were poisoned and suffocated. But eventually they died in the floating oil. Additionally, I would like to stop this list with one more environmental disaster. Without stating this, the aspect of disasters would be incomplete. It is nonetheless the Australian bushfires. As of March 9, 2020, the fires burnt an approximate of 186,000 kilometers, which destroyed over 5,900 buildings and 279 homes. The fire started in various ways, some by lightning and some by human actions. However, it is the climatic condition that provided ample fuel for the fires to grow and spread. But even before the fires ignited, Australia was already enduring its hottest and driest year on record in 2020. So, ladies and gentlemen, just like I said in my earlier video about pandemics, it is most important for us to keep our environment safe for us to live in and also for the future generation to live peacefully. Environmental disasters are closely related to pandemics. Pandemics affect only humans, whereas disasters affect the whole environment. This planet Earth gives us so much resources. Let's all make sure that we use those resources efficiently and make the Earth a better place as always. Let us all take a pledge to save life, to save Earth. Because without this planet, there would be no life. So that's it for today, guys. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, share it with everyone and drop your comments down below. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing. I'll see you then.
But they coming to the shows. Pull up in a rose, now she wanna roll. Everybody talking, but they coming to the shows. Pulling up, being on swerving. Bad bitch pushing on curving. Run it up like a nigga earning. Gotta check now a nigga.
Please like, share and subscribe to this channel.